everyone, welcome back to the Unseen Archives. I am Albion. So, a little something off the cuff today. I am working on another lore video that I'm hoping to have done soon. Bit of an off the cuff recording today. No real script going into this, but I thought what might be fun, as a bit of content going forward, is to have a look at some of the comments that you fine folks have left on my videos, especially some of the older ones. And those that have been posed to me as questions, I can go ahead and provide answers to. Bit of feedback, bit of building on previous content. And if this proves popular and we get questions under this video or other future lore videos, I can cover them in similar QA videos to this. Just gives us a little bit of something, lets me talk to you a bit more candidly outside the scripts. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So, going right off the bat, we will go with a comment that we received from Iridan on our last video on the Thieves Guild that says, "Woohoo, you're back! Also, can we expect a podcast?" Well, first of all, thank you. It's lovely to be back. It's been far too long. As to the actual question part of this regarding a podcast, I don't know. I wouldn't mind doing one, certainly, but I would need people to podcast with. And I don't really have a strong network of other Discord-related content creators that I know or work with. If any want to reach out to me, I'd love to actually build a bit more of a community rather than just do my own thing off on the side here. But, in relation to that as a whole, I think I'm interested in doing more content type than just the lore videos, because obviously we've got this, the QA I'm working on. I also want to cover news relating to Discord, because Narrativia looks like it's doing a lot of fun stuff. And we've also got the Kickstarter for the new Discworld RPG on the way. That definitely, I think, deserves to be covered when it launches. So, all in all, watch this space and I'll hopefully make as much new content as I can. Thanks for the question. Continuing on next, we had a comment from one Jessica Jays on our video on the Discworld Gods, asking, "No mention of the great god Om. Miraculously, he didn't get eaten by an eagle while stuck as a tortoise for 3 years. Yes, Om. The possibly most well-documented god on all of Discworld. Definitely a topic worth talking about. To tell the truth, I didn't cover him much in the Gods video because he is such a big deal. He's had so much more screen time than other gods that I genuinely thought at the time he deserved a video all to himself. And hopefully I'll get round to that in the future. Thanks for the question. We have here a question from Marcus Blackwell that was left on our primary introduction video asking, "Aren't there living rock creatures?" I ask because I saw one in the Soul Music animated special. Well, you would have actually seen several in the Soul Music animated special, but I know that only one of them, our buddy Cliff, is a protagonist in that story. Yes, those are the trolls, a silicon-based lifeform species who are absolutely going to be getting their own content in future. There's a lot to say about them, and I think Pratchett has made some very interesting ideas come to life with their culture. So that's definitely something I want to talk about in detail. Moving on to something a bit more personal, Unseen Library, love the username, did leave a message asking which guild I would like to join, and that their favourite is the Fool's Guild. So, I've thought about this a lot, to be honest, far more than I probably should have, but for all that I like reading and understanding and world building, that is not really something you could make a guild around, but what I do like is being handy. Any excuse to break out the power tools, any excuse to build anything or make something or just build with my hands, I am all about that and I will take any opportunity to do it. So I think I would be very happy in the Artificers Guild. Just always a new challenge, always something new to build, pushing the boundaries of technology within Ankh. Sounds like fun to me. So a question that was left on our Witches video. Akoris asks, "Isn't our Jason the Blacksmith of Lankra? So he takes care of Binky? But why blindfolded?" That's a bit of a tricky question the way he's phrased it, but to break it down, yes, Jason Ogg is the blacksmith in Lankra, and part of that role is reshoeing Death's horse Binky. Quite why it's done blindfolded, I'm not sure. I believe it is a sign of either respect or perhaps my interpretation, which is that humans cannot normally see Death or Death's horse. So by blindfolding himself, he is removing the element of his sight that is deceived, because If the human brain cannot allow itself to see death or death's horse, when he blindfolds himself, he removes that factor. So his vision is not capable of lying to him, but he is aware of what a horse smells like, what a horse feels like, what being around a horse and a horse's owner feels like. So, divorced from his sight, he knows that there is a horse there, regardless of whatever mental protections are in place to stop him seeing the horse of death. If you have your own versions of how you think this works, I'd be very interested to know. But yes, I think the whole contract with the Blacksmith of Lancre is a very fascinating subject. And I think we'll wrap one up here from Reel that was left on our very popular video on the presence of sexuality, diversity, and similar subjects on Discworld. And this one's a bit of a long one, so let's go. What about Knobby? Not many people notice, but Knobby is quite fond of wearing a dress. He still identifies as male and is assumed to be straight, but is often very excited about wearing a dress or going in female clothing when undercover, even when it is not needed or if there is another woman, such as Angua, able to do so, showing that gender expression doesn't have to follow cultural norms. This is a comment I really like. Yes, I wasn't quite sure on how to touch on Knobby in the video at the time, but he does seem to be an interesting case. It's something I need to put a lot of thought into, and I do honestly want to put a follow-up to that video out on the channel at some time, addressing some newer things, looking at other characters in certain lights. But Knobby is an interesting case, he really is. So, you're right, he doesn't seem to have any difficulty identifying as male, but at the same time, cross-dressing seems to feel very comfortable and natural to him, so there may be something in depth there. It could just be a joke on the final British tradition of panto dames. There's a lot of ways it could go, and I think it's a very interesting conversation to have about the character. All in all though, do let us know what you think, and yeah, that's a subject I'd love to do a follow-up video on after the first one, because I feel like I only scratched the surface. So I think for now, that's all the comments that I saw that seemed worthy of bringing up for a question. Sorry if this is running a little on the short side or it's got a bit rambly. As said, I've experimented a bit with going unscripted here, just lined up the comments and had a read. So I'll be interested to know what people think. And if you have any other ideas for content you'd like to see on the channel, do let me know. Going forward, we're going to try for a bit of a schedule. My goal is to put out one Lore of Discworld series for the Unseen Archives a month minimum. I'm not going to try and push that any harder, but you will have one mainline lore video a month going forward, and any other content that I have to do, like news, questions, anything that people think might be interesting, I'll put out as and when it's ready or occurs to me or needs to be said. Do leave some more questions down in the comments if there's stuff you'd like to hear me address in future videos of this nature. Do remember to like and subscribe. And going forward, I'll also be dropping a Ko-Fi link in the description as well if anyone wants to show any support. These things really do help. So hopefully I will speak to you all soon. And the next video out will be a lore video looking at the culture of the dwarves. So we'll see you for that one, and goodbye for now.